Hello, Dr. James Bogash, expert in health and longevity and creator of Bogash Life and Balance. And today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, and that has to do with exercise, and specifically what I recommend for exercise. And it has everything to do with, I feel that most people are exercising too much in the wrong way, and we're just not getting it done. Otherwise, we see things like heart disease and diabetes rates virtually disappear. Now, diet plays a role, but exercise is really important. And all of this comes back to this particular study on obstructive sleep apnea. And we know that people with obstructive sleep apnea have, there's definitely some things wrong with their health. And we need to fix those things so that sleep apnea can actually go away. And yes, it can go away if we make the right choices. But there's some very strong links with obstructive sleep apnea and things like migraines and heart disease and stroke. But what's interesting is that, just so excited, I don't really know where to start, but let's go back to why I feel that short burst aerobic activity is very important. And it boils back down to the heart. We know that if a heart artery gets blocked, that it can form what's called collaterals. So in other words, if an artery starts getting blocked and we exercise, and the trigger for the creation of brand new blood vessels is hypoxia, running out of oxygen. And so if we have a blocked artery and we decide to start exercising, and the heart muscle is like, hey, we don't have enough oxygen, it will cause a process called angioneogenesis, which is generally a good thing when it comes to the heart, because now we will form brand new blood vessels so that heart muscle gets the blood and oxygen and nutrients that it needs. So I've always felt that if we do this hypoxia in a very controlled fashion with short burst aerobic activity, that we are constantly triggering our body to fuel every organ, so not just the heart, but also the brain, your liver, your kidney, your bones, your muscles. We are in a very controlled fashion using hypoxia as a tool. I also feel this is part of the way that hyperbaric chamber works. Kind of new to us. We have a hyperbaric chamber in the office now, so always kind of fitting in with the same model of hypoxia or lowered oxygen creating positive outcomes. Now, how does this tie back into sleep apnea? Well, in sleep apnea, it's constantly running out. If we're not using a CPAP, we are constantly running out of oxygen. So intermittent hypoxia, when you stop breathing and we run out of oxygen. Well, not generally a good thing, but we know that the heart can respond to this by producing collaterals. So what's really interesting is this study looked at obstructive sleep apnea and the ability of people with sleep apnea to, I'm sorry, I said obstructive sleep apnea, but it was just on sleep apnea. For those people, their heart to form collaterals. And it turns out that people with sleep apnea had triple the number of collaterals, so extra blood vessels in the heart, because of this hypoxia. That, going back to the fact that this has a tendency to protect the heart, those people with sleep apnea had a 70% lower mortality rate. Now, everything else was screwed up. Their cholesterol levels were worse, their blood pressure was worse, they were more likely to be smokers, they were more likely to, all kinds of bad things. But this short hypoxia from sleep apnea actually protected them. On average, they lived 2.7 years longer with the disease. The big answer is to fix the sleep apnea and the lifestyle that goes along with it, and then use short burst aerobic activity to create these same benefits everywhere. It all just continues to feed in, and that's why I'm not a big fan of just walking. We need to run out of oxygen. At 52, I wouldn't feel that walking's enough for me. I need to constantly challenge my body and constantly run out of oxygen so that my body's looking up going, well, crap, we need to shape up. And that's where this your body will form brand new blood vessels or make the current ones healthier. So, as always, I will post a link to this particular study in the description. Make sure you like this video, share it with somebody who you think needs the information, and subscribe to the channel.